AI is everywhere right now. It promises to make us faster, smarter, more productive than we've ever been. But is there a catch? A hidden cost to all this power? That's what we're digging into today. The two sides of AI's impact on our work, our companies, and, yeah, even our own minds. So, let's start with this quote. It's a heavy one, right? Karl Marx wrote it over a century and a half ago, warning that if we make too many useful things, we might end up with people who are, well, less useful themselves. It's a pretty provocative idea, and honestly, it cuts right to the heart of the whole AI debate today. And that brings us right to the big question we're tackling. Are we on the verge of the biggest productivity boom in human history, or are we, slowly but surely, just outsourcing the very act of thinking? Let's get into it and see what the evidence says, starting with the incredible things AI is doing for business. Okay, first up, the good news. And it is really good news. The era of just playing around with AI, of just experimenting, that's pretty much over. By 2026, we're talking about businesses moving from pilot programs to actual profits, and the results are becoming impossible to ignore. A big report from PwC just laid this all out. They're saying success isn't going to come from just dabbling anymore. It's about making smart, focused bets. It's about having real benchmarks to separate what's just hype from what's actually making a difference. And it's about redefining jobs, building in responsibility from day one, and basically conducting this whole orchestra of AI tools to create some serious value. So what's really driving all this? Well, we're moving way beyond simple chatbots. The real engine here is something called AI agents. Now, these aren't just tools that analyze stuff for you. No, these are systems that can automate entire, complex workflows from start to finish. Think product design, demand forecasting, the whole shebang. It's a total game changer for how work actually gets done. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's already here. You've got major platforms leading the way. Prompts.ai lets you mix and match over 35 different AI models. Then you've got Microsoft's Power Automate, which is perfect for anyone living in that Microsoft world. And for the big guys, the huge companies in regulated fields, AWS Bedrock offers some seriously powerful and secure tools. And here's the bottom line. It works. Companies that are using these platforms are seeing their business processes speed up by 30 to 50%. I mean, that is a massive, massive leap in productivity. But, and this is a big but, all this incredible efficiency might be coming with a price. All right, so let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this paradox. Because while our machines are getting undeniably smarter, there's this nagging question. Are we getting a little lazy in how we use our own brains? There's a term for this, cognitive offloading. Think about it like this. You know how if you use a calculator for every little bit of math, your mental arithmetic gets kind of rusty? Well, the fear is that the same thing could happen with our critical thinking. If we rely on AI for every decision, every analysis, those mental muscles could start to weaken from just not being used. And this isn't just some vague worry. A really fascinating study from 2025, published in the journal Societies, decided to actually test this. Researchers wanted to know, is there a real measurable connection between how much we use AI and how well we can think for ourselves? And what they found, well, it's pretty eye-opening. The results showed a really clear pattern. The people in the study who used AI tools the most also tended to score lower on tests of their critical thinking skills. In fact, they put a number on it, a negative correlation of negative 0.68. Now, you don't have to be a statistician to get this. That's a really strong link. It basically suggests that as our reliance on AI goes up, our natural ability to reason, to analyze, to solve problems on our own seems to go down. And that presents a huge challenge for the future of work. So if AI is this incredible productivity engine on one hand, but a potential cognitive crutch on the other, what do we do? How do we adapt? Well, it looks like the answer is a total redesign of our workforce, our skills, and even our jobs. That same PwC report talks about the decline of the hyper-specialist and the rise of the AI generalist. Think about it. In the past, your value came from knowing a ton about one specific thing. But in the future, your value might come from knowing enough about a lot of things to manage a whole team of AI agents and make sure what they're doing actually helps the business. So the obvious next question is, what kind of skills do you even need to become one of these AI generalists? Because it's a pretty dramatic shift from what we've needed before. This list here, which is based on a curriculum from Johns Hopkins, gives us a really good idea. And it's not just about coding. We're talking about agent architecture, which is kind of like being the general contractor for an AI project. It's about LLM integration, knowing how to plug different AI brains together. And maybe most importantly, it's about human-agent collaboration, mastering the actual art of working with AI as a true partner. And of course, all of it has to be guided by solid, responsible principles. Okay, but here's the rub. A report from the Adecco Group found a massive, massive disconnect. People are excited about AI. They're using it. They're saving time. But a staggering 75% of them are getting zero formal training from their employers on how to use these incredibly powerful tools. That is a full-blown AI training crisis. And all of this brings us to our final, and honestly, probably the most important point. In a world where AI can automate so many of the routine thinking tasks, what's left for us? Well, our uniquely human skills suddenly become our greatest advantage. This quote just nails it. As AI makes all the technical, repeatable stuff cheaper and easier, things like emotional intelligence, creativity, and, yep, critical thinking, those become the new premium skills. They're the things that AI, at least for now, just can't do very well. So how do we actually protect and sharpen these human skills? A 2026 report from WellHub gives us a huge clue. It found that 89% of workers are more productive when they take care of their well-being. This is so important. The answer to cognitive laziness isn't just to try to think harder. It's about building up our mental resilience. This isn't some soft perk anymore. It's our core competitive advantage. And you can see this trend happening right now. Younger generations are totally leading the way. I mean, look at this data. 68% of Gen Z workers say therapy is essential for their well-being. For baby boomers, that number is only 33%. This is more than a cultural shift. It's a strategic one. It's about building a career that's actually sustainable and mentally healthy. So, at the end of the day, the path forward seems pretty clear. It's not about choosing sides, human versus AI. It's about augmentation. It's about using these amazing tools, but also doubling down on our irreplaceable human skills. Through training, yes, but also through a real focus on our own cognitive health and well-being. Which leaves us with one final thought, a question for you to take away. As AI handles more and more of the routine stuff, it frees us up. So the real question isn't what job will you have anymore, it's what uniquely human work will you choose to create. The future isn't about what AI is going to do to us, it's about what we choose to do with it. Thanks for tuning in.